Hello, and welcome to a special Fireside Chat with Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. I'm Cheryl Penny, President and CEO of Dynasty Financial Partners. Jay, thanks so much for sitting down and having this conversation.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So look, Abacus is one of our newest client relationships. So first, thank you for the partnership. We're super excited about it. But maybe just take a moment to get us started by telling us about Abacus.
Sure. And we're just as excited to be a part of the Dynasty team. And Abacus as a company was founded nearly 20 years ago. And over the last 20 years, we've primarily focused on a specific type of product, and that is helping people source and find the liquidity in their life insurance policy, based on a core fundamental value of people need to know that their life insurance policy is an asset, and
right.
Most people treat it like debt. From that has emerged a number of other opportunities. We are a highly regulated entity across several states. And in that, when you go to acquire life insurance policies, you're actually regulated by each individual state Department of Insurance. Through that process, though, what we discovered was there are a lot of people out there that truly don't understand not just the value of their life insurance policy, but their other financial assets. And so what Abacus does first and foremost is educate. Right. Educate people on financial products, educate people on their life insurance policy. Here's a startling statistic. And anyone who ever hears it, at first they don't believe it. But when they think about life insurance, most people, when they look at it, they think that it's going to care for someone later down the road. What they don't realize is that life insurance as an industry is a $13 trillion industry, right? 2.5 times the U.S. residential real estate market. Yet, of the $13 trillion, 90%, or 9 out of 10 life insurance policies, they never pay a claim.
Yep.
It's a massive transfer of wealth that never occurs. And what happens is that like in the other financial areas of their lives, they might downsize when they get older, maybe 75 or 80 years old. They say, oh, I don't need this home, or I don't need these other things. So what they do with their life insurance policies, they typically just let it go.
Right.
They stop paying on it. And who wins when that occurs? The life insurance company. Those assets now at a market value can be used in someone's new financial plan on a go-forward basis. And so when you think about in a quick summary what Abacus does, we educate and we inform clients about their other financial and liquidity needs, starting first with life insurance and now moving into other alternative assets. We're also an alternative asset manager that manages these policies post-acquisition. And now we're probably most excited about is we're now moving into how do we help people understand, using Lifespan as a core competency, understand other values within their financials.
Got it. So let's stick on the area of education. One of the things that I've heard you say, talking about life insurance as an asset class, and we were just together at Dynasty's Investor Forum in Nashville. Again, appreciate you being a part of that. A lot of conversation there around increasing alternative investments inside of a client's overall portfolio. Can you talk a little bit about life insurance, as another alternative investment opportunity for advisors?
Sure. And what we have done is that we've created access to financial advisors where they didn't have it before. Most financial advisors would hear life insurance and they would immediately farm that out to someone else and say, I don't do life insurance. What we point out is that it's a monster asset, $13 trillion industry that they're just letting go. And Abacus as a company last year paid out over $200 million to people. And where did that liquidity go? Did it go back into their financial portfolio? Probably, and the financial advisors weren't even aware that it occurred. Imagine what had happened if RIAs or financial advisors actually treated this as an asset. The shame in what we do is that not that we paid out several hundred million, we should be paying out several hundred billion. Right? And those are assets that are just getting left behind. In fact, we receive north of 10,000 inquiries per month from people contacting us to try to learn more about this financial asset as their life insurance policy, again, is just a small piece. Yep. But as we spoke about alternative assets, why do alternative asset managers love investing in this asset? Historically, we've worked with the largest private asset managers in the world. The KKRs, the Apollos, all the names that we know, they buy this asset from us. We're the aggregator. We put it in portfolios and tranches for them, and then they purchase it, and then ultimately we service it for them. What's interesting now is an alternative asset. Why do they love it? It's uncorrelated. It's a mortality-driven zero coupon. The counterparty is an insurance carrier that's typically A-rated or better.
Right.
The contract is cash reserved, and the overall yield historically has been in the mid to upper teens. So when you now look at that, if this wasn't life insurance and this were some other form of investment you could make that was uncorrelated, A-rated, cash reserved, and a historically mid-teen return, I think that you would be wanting to know, how can I get access to it? But because it's life insurance, it requires another level of understanding, which takes us to this alternative space. And with groups like ours, we're able to provide access to RIAs where they didn't have it before.
So you said one thing there that my ears perked up. You got me pretty excited when you said you've created several $100 million of liquidity. And that obviously for any advisor listening to this conversation is exciting to think about, well, okay, where's that liquidity going? You said going back into their portfolio, but that should ultimately benefit their advisor. And I know that's a big part of your strategy of where you're going in terms of building out your wealth business. And why we decided to partner together. So maybe taking a half step back, why did you decide to partner with Dynasty? And what is your hope in terms of your aspirations of building out the wealth business over time?
First, why did we partner with Dynasty? I think it came down to a pretty simple strategy and mindset. We had a lot of synergies in relationship to our value in putting our clients first, but also education. We recognize that in educating people about opportunities and providing education, whether it's in technology that Dynasty provides or a variety of other portfolios that they can help with, for us, it was, how do we provide this education to the thousands of inquiries that we receive every single month, plus additional education that we should be providing to those people that we're providing this additional liquidity to. Again, to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. It's only going to grow, by the way. As we continue to educate, what we're seeing is a pretty significant increase on a monthly basis of inquiries from investors. And these aren't small 100,000 or 200,000 investors, right? The average person who contacts us every month is over the age of 55 with $1 million of net worth.
Wow.
And
amazing.
They're seeing this off a television commercial. And so when RIAs sometimes come back to me and say, oh, life insurance, I don't know, I should ignore that. And so you're literally leaving billions of dollars potentially on the table. And so for us, being able to focus on education, unique product services, Dynasty was a natural fit.
Got it. And then more broadly, the wealth management build out. Why is it so synergistic to the business?
The wealth management build out for us from a synergistic point of view comes directly back to the client. Education. One of the core things that we did, and I touched on it before, is that Abacus Life is also a data company. Over the last 20 years, we've aggregated reams of longevity and lifespan data. What do we do with it? How do we apply it? The lifespan data, what we do is when we work with a policyholder, we get updated medical files, and then we take those medical files and send those off to third-party physicians, medical actuaries, and get an updated lifespan. It's effectively like personal medicine for financial planning. And what do I mean by that? So often, we talk to our clients about some of the fears they have in investing, right? Which is, I don't want to run out of money, right? I'm trying to plan for my life. We actually provide the tools so that they better understand what that is. Here's a perfect example. We acquired a policy, it was nearly a $20 million policy. This client was going to receive $10 million in market value for that contract. When we looked at their lifespan was closer to around 7.5 years. But their financial plan was for 15, 20 years. You've got a disconnect. And when you think about estate planning and the additional services that you can provide, I don't think we can't any longer just put our finger in the air and say, oh, age 95 or age 100, that's what we should plan to, when it's really 87, or it's 83, or it's 80.
Right.
And that type of customized financial solutions is really what drove us through education first, utilizing our lifespan data to provide custom financial solutions and be able to partner and work with RIAs and educate them that this is an important piece, because I think it's a fundamental shift in what we'll see in financial planning.
Got it. So look, if you're an advisor listening to this conversation and you're considering joining Abacus, you talked about kind of an incredibly unique lead situation there. partnership with Dynasty in terms of providing robust technology, product and service access. What else would you say to that advisor that makes this opportunity to join Abacus unique?
I think as an advisor today, you're always looking at unique ways to grow your business and provide unique, interesting, and differentiating types of products and services. What we provide at ABL Wealth are all of those things. We provide opportunities to grow your business because we have excess inquiries to the amount of 10,000 per month, and these people are seeking your advice. You're not having to reach out to them. They're calling you going, help me.
Right.
We're also paying out hundreds of millions of dollars of liquidity to their life insurance policy. And now how can that liquidity be better managed, right, into other financial solutions that RIAs and advisors, I think, would want to be a significant part of. And lastly, we will be able to offer customized solutions and provide access to financial advisors to some of these customized solutions, lifespan-based products that they can't get anywhere else.
Got it. All right, so let's shift gears here for a moment. So Abacus is a public company, ticker symbol ABL. Why talk a little bit about the journey of going public? Is something I know a little bit about personally as well.
Yeah.
But and why do you feel? Why did you feel, and the leadership team and the board, that Abacus would be better off as a public company?
I think for us, if understanding that we've got a $13 trillion business or $13 trillion industry in front of us.
Opportunity set, yeah.
And we're penetrating less than 2% of the market. It's driven by education, awareness, transparency, and being a public company gave us this significant amount of lift that we needed so that people could really trust. When they think about Abacus now, I want them to trust us. I want them to understand that there's significant legitimacy and validation, not just from what we say, but we built a moat around our business by embracing regulatory. So going public gave us that additional awareness and that additional trust so that people could look at us as a company and say, okay, I understand that I have a life insurance policy or I have financial planning. I don't know much about it, but most of these topics are quite intimidating. We are now the only publicly traded company in our industry and one of the few in the RIA space. And I think that gives us a tremendous advantage. Now, the journey itself was arduous, as we've all been through.
Yeah.
And the regulatory scrutiny that was placed on us, particularly as an insurance-based asset, was extensive. However, when we came out of that process, we're a better company, we're more transparent, and frankly, we saw direct results from that. So prior to being a public company, as a private company, our number of inquiries that we received was around 2,000. Now we're over 10.
Wow.
It really had a massive impact. And so when we speak to people and they're going, hey, who is this company? Who is Jay Jackson? Who is Abacus? Who's ABL Wealth? They can point to something tangible. And in a world of intangible products, this gives us a pretty significant advantage to not just our clients, but hopefully potential and future RIAs that we partner with.
Let me ask you a question about leadership, right? I think there's a number of people who will see this interview that are leading various businesses, whether it's leading RIAs, independent broker-dealers, insurance companies, custodians, the whole ecosystem, I would imagine, would have interest in the conversation. How would you describe your leadership style, approach, philosophy? And is there anything maybe about yourself or your team that you've learned or that's been surprising, as you've taken the company public?
Sure. I think just for starting with ourselves, but also with, there are 3 original founders of Abacus that go back to 2004. Same management team, and when you're in that type of relationship, it's almost like a marriage, right? When you have partners that have been together that long, you start to think about it. And anyone who sees this, who's had a partner for 20 years in business, you must be doing something right? And I think that speaks volumes to who we are. We're first and foremost led by the premise that we show up. We come to work every day, and we lead by example. We're out in the trenches with you. We're out working and driving, whether it's revenue, new inquiries, client education, doing these kinds of things with you. It's very hands-on from that approach, from a support basis, that we want everyone first and foremost to say we're all in this together. And then the next step is finding the right people to work with and partner with and giving them and empowering them the ability to do what they do best. So, if we were to take that in summary, it's first and foremost commitment to our business and commitment to being with you, not above you or by you, it's with you. And that's evidenced by we've been in business for 20 years with the same partners, same management team. Some of our employees have been with us 20 years. And so from top down, it's the type of culture and commitment that I think that draws more people in.
Yeah.
And I welcome anyone to come by our office, because if you sit in that lobby for more than about 6 seconds without somebody offering you coffee, tea, water, and it's probably going to come from me, that's who we are.
Awesome. I look forward to coming by and having you make me a cup of coffee.
I will.
So that's great.
It'll be delicious.
Yeah. All right. So we've talked about culture. We've talked about leadership philosophy. We've talked about clients, prospects, the wealth build out, the advisory business, the partnership with Dynasty. What have we not covered that you wanted to make sure that we cover in this conversation?
I think that if we haven't highlighted already, just to add to it, our overall excitement about the future, about where things are going.
Yeah.
Understanding that utilizing data in lifespan and insurance shouldn't be intimidating. And most importantly, we've got it for you to make any of the financial advisors or RIAs or anyone that we partner with as seen as a true partner, to where we can provide more than just here's an office and a phone and we wish you the best. It's instead, we're in this together. And our business, if we just stay as is going to continue to grow at a significant multiple. And whether we are very successful in ABL Wealth or not, our business is going to grow either way,
right,
because of the industry that we're in. I think that's so unique, right? I don't need a single person or individual RIA to be wildly successful for the growth of our company. Our company is going to grow either way, and we want people to be a part of that. Be a part of the overall growth by contributing to what you do best.
Awesome. You said we're better together and excited about the partnership. I don't think I could sum up this conversation any better than to say how excited we are of this partnership. Fascinating to hear you talk about how you're utilizing data, the focus on education, the synergy around the wealth side. Really enjoyed this conversation. So thank you very much for sitting down and having this conversation.
Likewise. Look forward to doing it again.
And thank you as well for joining us for this special fireside chat with Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Wealth.